Hi, I'm Richard Karn, and you may have seen me on TV talking about the world's #1 expandable garden hose. Well, the brand new Pocket Hose Copperhead with Pocket Pivot is here, and it's a total game changer. Old-fashioned hoses get kinks and creases at the spigot, but the Copperhead's Pocket Pivot swivels 360 degrees for full water flow and freedom to water with ease all around your home. When you're all done, this rust-proof anti-burst hose shrinks back down to pocket size for effortless handling and tidy storage. Plus, your super light and ultra-durable Pocket Hose Copperhead is backed with a 10-year warranty. What could be better than that? I'll tell you what, an exciting radio-exclusive offer just for you. For a limited time, you can get a free Pocket Pivot and their 10-pattern sprayer with the purchase of any size Copperhead hose. Just text WATER to 64,000. That's WATER to 64,000 for your 2 free gifts with purchase. WATER to 64,000.
By texting 64,000, you agree to receive recurring automated marketing messages from Pocket Hose. Message and data rates may apply. No purchase required. Terms apply. Available at pockethose.com/terms.
California Governor Gavin Newsom has described the action of the United States U.S. President Donald Trump deploying National Guard troops to the city of Los Angeles as a way of putting the lives of the troops and people of the U.S. city at risk. The Homeland Security Service stated that its men have arrested an illegal immigrant from Mexico, Emiliano Garduno Galvez, over attempted murder for allegedly throwing a Molotov cocktail at Immigrations and Customs Enforcement, I.C.E. law enforcement agents during the Los Angeles riots, which has led to high level of looting and vandalization of shops. And in response to the alarming rate of mass stealing, the mayor of Los Angeles, Karen Bass, on Tuesday evening declared 8 p.m. to 6 a.m. curfew to commence today in certain parts of the Los Angeles city. Los Angeles Police Department Central Division, in a statement after the curfew was declared yesterday, said, multiple groups continue to congregate on First Street between Spring and Alameda. Those groups are being addressed and mass arrests are being initiated. Curfew is in effect. Curfew is in effect in downtown Los Angeles. Any person who remains engaged in unlawful assembly or criminal activity will be detained and arrested, the police said. California Governor Gavin Newsom, in a video and written press release, said that Donald Trump, without consulting with California's law enforcement leaders, commandeered 2,000 of our state's National Guard members to deploy on our streets. Illegally, and for no reason. This brazen abuse of power by a sitting president inflamed a combustible situation, putting our people, our offices, and the National Guard at risk. Karen Bass, the mayor, City of Los Angeles, in an order issued between 6 p.m. and 7 p.m. on Tuesday, banned unauthorized persons from moving or walking around the streets at night till further notice. The curfew declaration order reads verbatim below. Whereas, on June 10, 2025, I declared a local emergency within the city of Los Angeles resulting from the civil unrest following the escalation of immigration enforcement procedures of the federal government, including the unilateral activation and deployment of the California National Guard and United States Marines. Whereas, preceding the declaration of this local emergency, while the majority of protesters acted lawfully, there has been a significant amount of criminal behavior, including violence against first responders, vandalism of public and private property, looting of businesses, and failure to follow the lawful dispersal orders of the Los Angeles Police Department. Now therefore, by virtue of the authority vested in me as mayor of the city of Los Angeles under the City of Los Angeles Charter and provisions of Los Angeles Administrative Code, Chapter 3, Section 8.29, to promulgate, issue and enforce rules, regulations, directives and orders, I hereby declare the following order necessary for the protection of life and property in the areas of the city specified below. 1. No person, except as set forth below, shall be upon any public interest, avenue, boulevard, place, alley, park or other public place or unimproved private realty within the area bounded as follows. The area depicted on the attached map, the boundaries of which are formed by the merger of the 5 and 110 freeways on the north side of the curfew area, by the 10 freeway on the south side of the curfew area, by the 110 freeway on the western side of the curfew area, and by the 5 freeway on the eastern side of the curfew area, between 8 p.m. and 6 a.m. the following day. This order shall not apply to peace officers, firefighters, emergency operations, organization, EOO, personnel, the National Guard, any other responding military personnel deployed to the area, individuals traveling to and from work, residents, emergency medical services personnel, individuals seeking medical treatment, individuals working on a public works or improvement construction project, utilities personnel, credentialed media representatives engaged in news gathering, or any persons experiencing homelessness who are sheltered in the affected area. Any violation of this order shall be subject to enforcement and penalty as provided under Los Angeles Administrative Code, Chapter 3, Section 8.77 and 8.78. This order, as herein amended or modified, shall remain in effect until such time as the declaration of local emergency is terminated, or sooner at the direction of the mayor. Mayor Karen Bass on her ex-social media handle a few hours after the curfew declaration, said, "I issued a curfew starting tonight at 8 p.m. for downtown Los Angeles to stop bad actors who are taking advantage of the president's chaotic escalation. If you do not live or work in downtown LA, avoid the area. Law enforcement will arrest individuals who break the curfew, and you will be prosecuted. Violence and looting undermines our focus to protect families and leads to chaos. Don't weaken the movement. Damage to our city will not be tolerated and individuals will be prosecuted." In another engagement, she said, "The Trump administration told us they were going after violent criminals, gang members, and drug dealers. But they went after a Home Depot. They're going after families and children. That does not make Los Angeles more safe." On Saturday, the president posted a message about what a great job the National Guard did in LA. "They didn't even get here until Sunday. This entire effort is solely to cause chaos, and the people of Los Angeles, and our troops, don't deserve it." Homeland Security Service in a press statement said that, on June 9, 2025, I.C.E. agents in Los Angeles arrested Emiliano Garduno Galvez, an illegal alien from Mexico, for attempted murder after he threw a Molotov cocktail at law enforcement during the Los Angeles riots. Garduno Galvez had previously been deported. He has a previous criminal record. In 2024, Garduno Galvez was arrested by the Anaheim Police Department for grand theft and by the Long Beach Police Department for a DUI. These are the types of criminal illegal aliens that rioters are fighting to protect. We had reported that the California governor, Gavin Newsom, has reacted to the arrest threat issued against him on Monday by the United States U.S. President Donald Trump over the unrest and ongoing violent protest across the streets of one of the cities in California, Los Angeles, over Trump-led government crackdown and massive raids of immigrants in the Los Angeles city, with the governor daring the president to come and arrest him, that he does not give a damn over his arrest, that he cares more about his communities, with emphasis that the situation in downtown Los Angeles is a manufactured crisis by President Donald Trump-led government. It would be recalled that riots and civil unrest by Americans broke out across Los Angeles on Friday and continued throughout the weekend into this new week to protest local raids conducted by the U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement, ICE, with the protesters apparently overpowering and overwhelming Los Angeles Police Department, LAPD, which thus appears to have prompted a strong response from President Donald Trump.
California is no stranger to immigration enforcement, but instead of focusing on undocumented immigrants with serious criminal records and people with final deportation orders, a strategy both parties have long supported, this administration is pushing mass deportations, indiscriminately targeting hardworking immigrant families, regardless of their roots or risk. What's happening right now is very different than anything we've seen before. On Saturday morning, when federal agents jumped out of an unmarked van near a Home Depot parking lot, they began grabbing people, a deliberate targeting of a heavily Latino suburb. A similar scene played out when a clothing company was raided downtown. In other actions, a U.S. citizen, 9 months pregnant, was arrested, a 4-year-old girl taken, families separated, friends quite literally disappearing. In response, everyday Angelenos came out to exercise their constitutional right to free speech and assembly, to protest their government's actions. In turn, the state of California and the city and county of Los Angeles sent our police officers to help keep the peace. And with some exceptions, they were successful. Like many states, California is no stranger to this sort of unrest. We manage it regularly and with our own law enforcement. But this, again, was different. What then ensued was the use of tear gas, flashbang grenades, rubber bullets, federal agents detaining people and undermining their due process rights. Donald Trump, without consulting California law enforcement leaders, commandeered 2,000 of our state's National Guard members to deploy on our streets, illegally and for no reason. This brazen abuse of power by a sitting president inflamed a combustible situation, putting our people, our officers, and even our National Guard at risk. That's when the downward spiral began. He doubled down on his dangerous National Guard deployment by fanning the flames even harder. And the president, he did it on purpose.
I do not believe that individuals that commit vandalism and violence in our city really are in support of immigrants. They have another agenda. If you support immigrants and the rights of immigrants to be in our city, you would not be tearing the city apart.
Well, and let me just tell you, let's go back to what we were told in the beginning. This was going to be gang members, violent criminals, drug dealers. And I have a hard time imagining that's who is in a Home Depot parking lot. You know, in our city, we have day labor structures where people are not just hanging out. And so they were waiting. And day laborers are people who work every single day. They seek employment day after day. They are just trying to survive. And to have them being chased through a parking lot, or to have an office be raided where the family members are calling home saying, hey, I think I'm going to be detained. And then the family shows up with small children and they watch their parents be carted off, and then they can't contact them. They don't know where they are. The people that are detained have no legal representation or no access to legal representation. And from the immigrant rights community, which is a very well developed, established community in Los Angeles, this is a serious departure from the way things were handled in the past.
Osasua Radio, bringing you the news in a more digital way.